Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Catchin Up. I'm your host, Jack Smith, joined today by Sam Imrisek from the men's water polo team. Thanks for catching up with us, Sam.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I want to start back in your 2018 season. I believe you were a sophomore, and that team ended up going on to win the CCS championship. So how would you describe your 2018 season and the path to the CCS title?
So I look at that as that season was kind of a breakthrough for us. So our team consisted of that year when I was a sophomore, a lot of juniors, and they'd been working really hard the season before, didn't have the best season. They graduated a year. We did our hardest off season I think we've ever had. So much swimming and working out, and that was the ultimate goal: get a championship no matter what. And nothing less. We wouldn't be satisfied with anything less. So going in that seat, and so we started off. It didn't go great at the beginning, and halfway through the season, we all got together and we're like, we're not gonna, if we keep this up, like we're not gonna do what we're trying to do. We're not gonna get this championship. So we got together. We kind of got in a circle, had to like talk for 30 minutes about what we felt like we needed to improve. And man, after that, like things just changed. Our whole mentality, chemistry, we started clicking. Passes were being made that were like great goals. We knew who we needed in order to. We were executing our plays a lot better, and just everything started working out. And we got to the championship. It was really cool because our semifinal was actually tougher than our championship, a lot closer. So when we got to that championship before the game, we're like, okay, we got this. This is all us, like no doubt. So yeah.
So you talk about that meeting that you had with the whole team. What were some of the things that you needed to change? What were some of the things that you guys talked about throughout that meeting?
So a lot of it did include our coach as well. So it's funny because we kind of had these every season. So what happened was one of the biggest things was our passing. It wasn't great, and then our defense, our mismatches, like they were just running us like that easy. So what we kind of talked about was running more of a zone to kind of adjust, and then once we figured it's called an M zone, it's when the two guys up top don't really press anybody and they drop back to help, and then you kind of swap like that. So that was one of the biggest things we talked about, and then we kind of talked with our coach about like the things in practice. We felt like we were a fast team, and he was swimming us a lot more than we felt like we had to. We felt like maybe shorten the swim sets and work a bit more on our play and like scrimmaging and like figuring out scenarios and building up these new plays that required like that set up our front court easy, that gave us like these plays that we set up had like 4 backups in the one play. So like if this doesn't work, we're going to go to that. If that doesn't work, this will be open over here, stuff like that. And once we kind of got that all figured out, it just started going really well. And our chemistry too, like we started getting along a lot better, and like we're still best friends. We still see each other. It's great.
I was going to say your chemistry must be great to be able to run, that many plays with that many backup options. But obviously, you did end up getting that CCS title. I want to know, what were you able to take away from that season, that experience, and what were you able to take away going into your next 2 years?
So after winning that, our goal was like, okay, we did this. Next season, let's get a D1. We're going for D1 this year. We can definitely do it. What we really wanted was to go open, but we had this one game against SI. We lost by 1 goal with our best player out with a concussion, and that one hurt pretty bad. And after that, we're like, okay, we can't do this. We're gonna go for D1 championship then. Just keep on trying to get better. That's all we really took away from it. Was next season, like we're getting back to work. We're gonna do better next season. Yeah, that was kind of what we took away from it overall.
And then I know during last season, or was it after last season, I know you were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I found out, in a class I had with you, I remember Miss Matujas telling us, it hurt to hear. I just want to know, when did you find out about that news, and what was your initial reaction to finding that out?
So, God, we had a Monday off, I think it was, and so we had a practice that afternoon, and I'm sitting out of practice because I wasn't out of practice because I got a biopsy and they didn't want me getting in the pool, and so I'm sitting out and I'm just like, holy, like I didn't know what to think. I'm just like that whole day stressed into my own head, wondering what the results are going to be from the biopsy I just took. My mom got a call. She went outside, and then I came downstairs and went outside, and I was like, what was it? And she had written down on a pad, and she showed it to me, and I was like, I didn't really, it was just surreal, you know. I was just kind of like, damn, I guess that's happening now. So no crazy reactions really. I kind of just drove to the hospital quiet, was put in there for 2 weeks. The only time I got a little bit freaked out was when they told me the risk factors. But after they told me the risk factors, they told me you only got 4 months. And I was like, only 4 months? Are you serious? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I'll probably get back to school by the time this is all over and I'll get back to work. Just what hurt the most was after realizing that is I just broke my thumb halfway through the season in a St. Francis game. I'm supposed to go back. We're starting CCS playoffs. I'm supposed to go back. And now I'm not even allowed out of the hospital. And I can't play in the championship. I can't play in the semis. I can't play in the conference. It sucked.
And I know it was rough for you, but I want to know, did it have a big impact on your water polo career going forward? Were you scared about, what it meant for you, as an athlete in general? Do you think that was something that could have been taken away from you?
The biggest thing that hurt was probably being like, I can't play with these seniors anymore. Like this was supposed to be this is their final season. It was supposed to be like their farewell. I was hyped to go to championship, maybe win it with them. And that was taken away from me, which was probably the most painful thing out of all of it, to be honest. That hurt really bad. But they always showed up to the hospital and hung out with me, stayed the night. It was honestly like they came over and like helped me have a good time. They're probably the biggest reason that I got through all that. And then after I was done, I I I I couldn't even like during it, I couldn't even walk around the block, or I was like gassed. I was so tired, and I was like, "How is this possible?" So right when I got out of the hospital, I was working out hard, right, and I was working out really hard to the point where like my immune system still wasn't back to like its good level yet. So I wore my body down, and then I was actually put back in the hospital for 2 more weeks because I wore myself out that bad. And then I got out again, and I was like, okay, now I got this figured out. I'm taking it easy. Once I'm done, I'm gonna pick up the tempo, keep it going. And now I'm like better than I've ever been before. Best shape of my life. Like I'm actually like looking back on it, the amount of lessons it taught me, and I don't think I'd be like this motivated right now and in this shape if it wasn't for going through all that.
What was
So
the
yeah,
biggest lesson it taught you?
man, I think it really just taught me how important the people in your life are. Because don't get me wrong, like I appreciated everyone. Like they were all like I 100% appreciated them. But after like going through that and looking back at it, I'm like, man, without them, that'd be a totally different experience. Like your family and friends around you, like I appreciated them on a whole other level. Because like they made like it almost a good time at some points. Like I was like having fun whenever they came over and like completely changed up the situation. Just a whole new appreciation for everyone around me.
I think that reflects great on the men's water polo program. But obviously, like you said, you're in the best shape of your life. You're moving on to your senior season. So first of all, where are you at now, water polo wise? Have you been able to get back in the pool after getting into the best shape of your life and getting over the obstacle? And where are you at going into this season?
So I say the toughest part is no scrimmages. It's like it's killing me because that's my favorite part of practice, getting in there and being able to like get some live work in. All we're really able to do is run some drills, shooting, shot blocking, pretty simplistic stuff. And we're getting work in, we're working out, but it's like it's going to be tough not having that because it's a whole new team this year. Like we have everybody's brought up because we were all seniors last year, and then me and Sam Lau, who's our goalie, who's a sophomore. Everybody's new, and not being able to play live situations with them is really tough because it's being a whole new team, whole new chemistry, whole new play style. Because they're not as big as those last guys. We're going to be running like more of a movement type offense. If that makes sense. And so, yeah, just not being able to get live with them has been really hard. But they're all really motivated and willing to work, and like the work we're putting in, it's definitely going to reflect this season. I think they're looking good.
I know you say it's a young team. How are you going to help and be a leader on this team? You've learned some lessons over the past year. How are you going to be able to teach some of these lessons and teach some of these younger guys?
So what I've been doing is during practice, during passing, we do certain drills. If I see someone having trouble, I'm being like trying to be a captain of the team, I go over and I adjust what they're doing. And they come to me like we have this one drill and that where we like go down the pool and come back with defense. It's like a counter thing. And if one of them doesn't know their job and our coach isn't able, and they don't feel either comfortable talking to the coach because they're scared or our coach is busy, they'll come to me and ask me, "Hey, what do I got to do here?" And I'm like more than willing to help out. It's really great. And what's really cool is that they're like willing to ask and like get better, which has really shown a lot about how they really do care about what we got going on, and they're showing a lot of improvement because of it. And yeah, knowing our chemistry from last season, I'm kind of able. What I've been trying to do is kind of get us as close as I was with last year's team, because ultimately that's what I feel like led to our success. And if we can get that working with this year's team and kind of get us all together and bond really well, I think we'll be able to have some success this year too.
Well, if I know you, I know you'll be able to foster that in those kids and then some of the younger guys and get that team back to where you want it to be. But before we wrap this up, we ask the same everyone the same question at the end. Is there anything you want to touch on to wrap this up? Anybody you want to talk about, or anything that you want to finish up on?
Um, Man, our coach, he's a creative guy, and he's been whether it comes to workouts, to punishing us, to play styles, to being like just a really good mentor. Like the fact that he's got a whole brand new team and is still making it work as well as he is, like he's looking good, and I'm really excited to see how we go into this season. It'll be tough, like I said earlier, without the live play and practice, but I think we'll be looking good.
Well, and he's got you to help him, so I would say that you guys are going to look pretty good too. But I just want to
Yeah.
say, Nate, I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you that you were able to get over that and get into the best shape of your life. And I just want to thank you for coming and catching up with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.